Hey everyone, welcome to District 7 in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And in this video, I'm going to take a trip to a grocery store just to show you some of the interesting things they have for sale there and to give you an idea of the cost of living here. It is very inexpensive to live in Vietnam or in Saigon, and particularly here in District 7, where I recently rented an apartment in a luxury building with 2 swimming pools, security guards, a restaurant, a convenience store, and a gym for $400 a month. It's a small studio space, but still, I rented a studio last year in Tulum, Mexico for $400 a month. And it was like super ghetto. It was like living in squalor. So you could live decently here for very low cost. And you can eat here very cheaply. For instance, we're coming up on a food stand here, and the woman sells banh mi for 20,000 VND. $1 is 23,000 or 24,000 Vietnamese dong. So you can get a whole banh mi sandwich for less than $1. Here's another one, 30,000 for an entire meal of food. So that's about $1.25. Most of the restaurants and food kiosks along this strip here in D7 are offering either rice noodle soup or some kind of other complete meal for about $1. And as you can see, this place is kind of an old school neighborhood here in Vietnam. Many parts of District 7 have these brand new developments with big wide streets and brand new buildings. This is sort of the older, more original neighborhood in District 7. And space here is it's at a premium, as you can tell by these narrow sidewalks. One of the first things you'll notice about grocery stores in Vietnam is that they don't have parking lots like they do in the United States. That's because this is, as you can see, this is not a car culture country. Most people, as you can see driving by us, most people ride motorbikes. It wasn't until recently that the government changed the tax law and an auto finance industry sprung up that people bought their own cars. Before then it was just taxis. Taxis were the only cars that stay on the road. This is my neighborhood supermarket, the Go supermarket. And like I said, as you can see, there's no big parking lot out front. As with many grocery stores here in Vietnam, the supermarket is just part of a sort of shopping mall. And in this case, the supermarket is part of a high-rise apartment complex, and there's a shopping mall downstairs. I'm about to do something that's always fun here in Vietnam: cross the street and try to get through all this motorbike traffic. Wish me luck. As you can see, the traffic does not come to a complete stop for you to cross safely as it does in some parts of the United States. It's a big leap of faith here. As I said, most grocery stores are found in a shopping mall setting like this one. And it's a little odd because the grocery store is upstairs. You're gonna take this super long escalator to get there. I'd compare this supermarket to like a Target or a Fred Meyer back home. Part grocery store and part home goods store. You've got everything from children's clothes to pots and pans to small appliances, and of course, motorbike helmets. No, we are not at an aquarium or at a pet store. We are at the supermarket. And one of the first major differences you'll notice between supermarkets here in Vietnam and supermarkets back in the States is that you can get your seafood very, very fresh. In fact, the other day, I saw this like random basket of live crabs out in the middle of the floor. Oh, here it is. Uh-oh. Another thing that's different than in the US is that in Southeast Asia, they are really, really, really big on pork. And if you want some pig's feet, there you have it. Also, there's a bin of chicken parts. Oh, here it is. These chicken's feet. Chicken's feet are super, super popular here in Vietnam. I've had them many times, and I've got to say they're not my favorite delicacy, not my favorite food. They're usually just sort of like boiled in this broth, and when you eat them, they're just slimy and gooey, and you've got to suck whatever meat and skin is left off of the bone. But they are a popular snack item here. As an example of the prices, look at these boneless, skinless chicken breast fillets. 49,000 Vietnamese dong and 500 grams, about a pound. So about $2 a pound. Pretty cheap. The last time I bought chicken breasts back in Seattle, they were like $4 a pound. These steak prices are a little higher here though. Not a big cattle raising country. So 158,000 Vietnamese dong. That's about $7 for that piece of meat. Almost equivalent to the US. And fish heads. A lot of people freak out at the different kinds of foods they sell in Vietnam. But it comes from not wanting to waste anything. That's why you'll see the chicken feet and the pig's feet and the fish heads. It comes from a time when there was famine and war, and food, especially protein, was hard to come by. So they've learned to use every single part of the animal. And as you can see, they even sell frozen fish heads. Some of these herbs that they sell here in Vietnam and Thailand are really a whole different world from the herbs and spices that you're used to finding back at home in the States. The Vietnamese basil, Thai basil, sweet basil, there are many, many, many more varieties of herbs and greens on offer here in Vietnam. My problem is that most of the packaging is written only in Vietnamese. Very few things in the store here are labeled in English, so if you don't know what it is just by looking at it, you can have a hard time figuring out what is what. So just fair warning, if you're looking for something specific at a Vietnamese grocery store, you might want to do Google Translate and figure out what it is called in Vietnamese. I think I found the American section. I've got some things I'm going to go and check out, and I'll give you the total cost of my grocery basket. So I just spent 416,000 VND, or about 17 US dollars. And I got a couple pounds of chicken, a nice salmon steak, and plenty of produce, fruits, and vegetables. Just FYI, if you've seen my video about buying $28 fake Air Jordans at the fake market on Bangla Road in Phuket, Thailand, as a follow-up, I've put quite a few miles on these Air Jordans, and they're holding up quite well. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and stay tuned for more of my content from Southeast Asia.